There was a time when there was some actual substantial financial advice that feels much more custom than things do now.
A little different than all the rest. Quite a fashion.
A lot of the financial gurus, people who just are, I guess, have been set up with the good circumstances of like having a good job, or people who just have a completely different circumstances than the majority of Americans. I'm going to speak about Americans because that's where I live. There's this like tendency to have this like righteous, like if you budget then things will be okay. I feel like the disclaimer of this advice is for group of people who are very specific, and like I'm one of those people. I have a pretty good job. I work as an independent contractor in community. I've had a good job for the last 3-4 years, like different contracts and stuff. I think that lifestyle inflation changed the way that I had my relationship with my money. I grew up in a very poor household. A lot of the time did not have enough even to get by. We got a lot of our support from family members. And so I never was taught about financial well-being, how to spend your money, how to have a relationship with money, because we didn't have enough of it. So when I got to my mid-20s and I started to have this money that I've never had before, I started having like an issue around like what people call like lifestyle inflation. I was like purchasing stuff and buying things because I knew this money was gonna run out. I'm really into cinematography and videography and all that. So I started buying really expensive cameras, and I was also supporting my family in a large way. I was taking trips to see my family. I wasn't saving for later. I think in the last 3-4 years, I started to learn that my relationship with money actually is something that I need to like unlearn. And like there's a lot of like money trauma that I had growing up with very, very little. And so now having this money for the first time, this autonomous money, and also like kind of figuring out my place in the world and like being actually stable compared to other people, like all of those things kind of take a toll on you. The way that a lot of these financial gurus, people on the internet give advice is really decontextualized. It gives us the vibe like if you budget, things will be okay for you. It's a lot of blaming of people for their choices, not taking these systems that have made it hard for us to exist in this world responsible. It's the Dave Ramsey school of learning. There's this YouTuber that's kind of newer now that I follow, and I like some of her content and her commentary, but a lot of her videos, I think at the beginning, were like very good custom advice, but then it became really judgmental and like watching TikTok videos and kind of making commentary that I don't find honestly valuable anymore, because to me that is very much a universalized idea of like how people should spend their money. Like you don't know what their situation is, you don't know how they grew up. One of the reasons I find financial advice or financial guruing on the internet, like anybody can get up and have a conversation about it, is because it's a very, again, decontextualized advice, because it doesn't consider what people are going through. It doesn't consider how people have had a relationship with their money. Some of the people that I follow that have really supported me in my journey to understand my relationship with money are my therapist, and some of the people that actually make some of these disclaimers, and some of the people who kind of talk about some of these like outside forces that cause you to have this type of relationship with money, and oh, you don't have enough money right now because of these reasons, and like this is how you do it. There's some people that I follow that are like, here's how to get a side hustle. Like it sucks that we have to get a side hustle, but like, this is how you kind of curb it. Like those things are very important. I think giving this, like nothing lives in a vacuum, especially finances and the way we interact with money. But I think my beef with like a lot of these content creators, especially new content creators, like just because you watch like 2 hours of cryptocurrency videos around investing, how digital money is going to take over, it does not mean you're a financial guru. Like even me speaking like this now with a mic, it just feels really weird. Like, I mean, part of the thing is also like YouTube is becoming like a reactionary space, meaning like there's a lot of people making like original content that I really enjoy. That's one of the reasons I am on this channel, making some of these contents. But there's also a lot of people into TikTok videos that other people have made and have put an effort in and just having an opinion about it. I don't know. There's people that I like that kind of present something new or bring something new or add value to the video. But a lot of the videos that I watch, especially in the finance space, like it's very like condescending and very righteous. And to me, like that doesn't really actually add any value to the conversation. It doesn't really add value to me understanding money in a different way. It just makes me feel awful for having the relationship that I have with money. Here's like, I guess the point of what I'm trying to say. I feel like there's a lot of values to be added from reaction videos, or even to react to other people's stories on the internet and kind of offer advice based on what you have experienced. However, I think it actually devalues what you are saying, and it actually turns people off, or at least it turns me off when I hear people saying like, y'all are spending too much money, y'all are spending your money on luxury goods. The internet is a series of highlights, and the things that get the most views are the things that are extremely highlighted. I feel like making these general assessment is actually really destructive. It kind of frames you, first of all, as an expert, which is not true. You're just some person with a mic and a camera. It puts burden on the individuals that have not made the choice to be in this world. We are here. We are living under late stage capitalism. We are living under crashing levels of inflation, and also just a really hard time to be alive, where even buying groceries has become a luxury. And so to make this content like this is a very frivolous way of offering advice, because to me it doesn't really offer anything new. It just kind of continues the legacies and the precedent that people like Dave Ramsey have added into the world, which is it's incomplete advice that doesn't address all of the factors, all of the variables. And I'm not really interested in consuming that content. Some of my favorite creators on the internet who have inspired me to also create are people who are very nuanced about the world, who understand and don't claim to understand every part of the world, but who understand there is factors outside of our choices and our control that make our life possible. And to claim otherwise is a very foolish and disingenuous way of existing on the internet. To claim that everybody is buying luxury goods, everybody is spending their money on subscriptions, is untrue. There are people that are influenced easily, that are spending their money poorly, but again, make content that is much more custom made. I think that's much more valuable to reach those people. If you're really genuinely interested in reaching those people, making videos about some of the most like unhinged financial advices, or people claiming, people obviously disingenuous in a very disingenuous spirit, trying to get viral, are saying shit out here, and you are saying like a $30,000 haul back to school. That's not a norm. That's not a norm. And right now, a lot of people who do not have the money like that are not doing a $3,000 haul. Even people who have money like that are not doing a $3,000 haul. You are reacting to influencers or people that are content creators who are trying to get like viral or to get attention in a specific way. It's not a representation of Americans. It's not a representation of the world. There's a lot of influencing really ads that we digest as content. A haul, like these are all the things I bought back to school. These are all ads. These are all things that is pushing us to purchase more, to overconsume. That's not the fault of individuals. We are flooded by those informations, by those content, no matter where you're at, whether you're on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, wherever you're at. If you are trying to make change with the type of finance content that you're putting out, you kind of have to disrupt the way that some of these finance contents come out. You have to disrupt the way finance content is being laid out. I think about wellness. When people are like, oh, I'm really concerned about their health, and they're making assumptions about people's health based on how they are looking at them. To me, I don't think you really care about that person's health. You're never concerned about that person's health. I think it's about you more than anything. It's about you furthering your presence on this platform, whatever platform it happens to be. I don't know. That's me though.